Hello and welcome to Cheshire Audio. Now, I'm going off on a tangent straight away here. This was supposed to be a retro review. I had a sudden thought as I just pressed record to do this slightly differently. Now, something quite interesting has come in for service, and I've done a bit of maths, sort of mental maths in my head and worked something out. And it's thrown up quite an interesting question. More of that later. First, I'll show you what's come in, and then I'll talk about what I'm thinking afterwards, because it could be quite exciting. Potentially, it may come to nothing, but I just have a feeling that something quite interesting could be bubbling under the surface here. So anyway, I'll talk about the record deck that's come in, and we'll go from there. Just turn the camera around. What we've got is a Rega P25, well, known as the Planar 25, obviously. When this came out, it was we had the Rega Planar 2, the Rega Planar 3, and then there was a big gap right up until the Rega Planar 9, which was similar in sort of concept to the sort of modern Planar 10, I suppose. Ceramic platter, big power supply, really good tone arm on it. But there was a big gap in the middle. And the Planar 25 came out in 1998, which coincided with the 25th anniversary of Rega. So from 1973 to 1998, 25 years. So the 25 is basically, if you've ever seen pictures of a P9, it's a P9 plinth, which has got a sort of semi-isolated, it's a sort of a two-piece plinth. It's not isolated like the RP8, RP10 were. It's not completely separate. There are little sort of connecting lugs somewhere. Can't find another one. Yeah, little connecting lugs around. So the weight of the plinth and the lid is partially isolated from the main structure. Basically, it's a Planar 3 with a P9 plinth and a better tone arm. It's got an RB600 tone arm, which is painted silver. Now, I suppose silver anniversary, possibly. I don't know. I literally just thought that as I'm talking. Tungsten counterweight on it. I believe better bearings on the 600. It wasn't just the fact it was painted silver. I think it had got better bearings. It's certainly got a better arm leads coming out. It's got the proper Klotz cables with Nutric plugs on, which is quite sort of high end really. So yeah, Planar 25, and it's also slightly different motor mount on it. And I seem to remember that the P25 had a bit more sort of electronics on the main board driving the motor, so it was designed to be quieter running than the Planar 3. Planar 3 platter, still a standard platter, no ceramics on it, because obviously ceramic platter, the price would go skyward. Phenolic resin sub-platter, which, like I say, it's a great design feature. People hate it, but it's a great design feature. You can sort of see on it that it's got different mounting system for the motor altogether. Totally different, but then again, it's a quieter running motor, so it's not got the sort of wobbly suspension that the Planar 3 of that era had. So yeah, that's the P25, and it was a superb sounding turntable. Available, the wood finishes, I think it was available in light oak. This one's cherry. I'm testing myself now. I think they did them in black as well. I can't remember ever selling a black one if they did, but the light oak I think was the big seller. Really good sounding turntable actually. It did work really well, the whole concept of it. I think the idea of this probably sort of spawned the later P5, P7, which sort of filled the gap between the 3 and the 9, which both had sort of elements of 3, elements of 9 in them really. I didn't think either of those were ever as pretty as this. This is probably one of the best looking Regas ever made. Sort of proper veneered wood edging on here and everything. It's a gorgeous looking deck, and it's probably better in the flesh than it is on the video, to be honest. Really nice looking. Standard lid, as usual. So that's it. Yeah, I'll just turn the camera around. Let's have a little chat about what this might suggest. Yeah, so Planar 25, 25th anniversary. This deck is now 24 years old. Next year is the 50th anniversary. So I wonder nothing has been said at Rega about the 50th anniversary. They haven't sort of suggested any products or anything at all, really. But what about a P50? What about Planar 50 turntable? What would that be? And because I think we almost need to push for this. I might be having words I mean, my take on it would be perhaps to take something like a Planar 6, which just as standard comes with an RB300 tone arm. Why not push the tone arm on it? Why not have an RB880, or you could even almost push it to an RB3000? I mean, that pushes the price up quite a bit. What would happen is it would sort of overlap price-wise with the P8, but there is an element of people, I've had quite a few people now, who will upgrade through the range, but don't want to go to a P8 or a P10 because they don't like, however much better it is, because it is better, they don't like the spider chassis, the cutaway chassis. They don't like the fact it hasn't got a standard lid. So this, to me, seems like a great opportunity to have a conventional shaped turntable, because the P6 plinth is superb. The lift between a 3 and a 6 is massive just because of the plinth. And I'm pretty sure that would take a much better tone arm. Possibly also you could have an external power supply on it as well. I mean, it comes with a TTPS-U anyway, but you could take it beyond that, a bit like the P10 does, to a much higher grade one. You could have the heavier platter on it. You could have a twin stage pulley on it. So yeah, there's lots of possibilities there. I think my dream one might be to have a P6 with the 3-layer platter rather than the 2-layer and an RB3000. I mean, that would be amazing. Price-wise, I think it might be getting on for £2,500–3,000, but perhaps it would it. I didn't do the maths before I said that, but it would be. If you put all those bits on, you would be getting beyond the price of a P8. Whether it'd be better than a P8 would be an interesting question, but it might just fill a gap for people, like I say, who don't want the spider chassis, who want something, like I say, more conventional. So that was my thought on this. It's completely off the cuff, this. I hadn't thought this through. I'm just sort of talking to camera. Well, I tend to do it anyway, just talking to camera with my thoughts, really. Interesting to see what everybody else thinks of this one, and whether or not we need to put a bit of pressure onto Rega and just see if they can come out with something like that. Because I think it would be really good, because, like I say, P6 plinth is amazing, and it will take better ancillaries, so why not? Anyway, I'm going to stop it there before I start getting too excited. Yeah, so that's next year. The anniversary is next year, so who knows what's waiting in the wings? They might have already decided. I did have a little thought just then of painted silver tone arm here. Why not a painted gold? As soon as I thought it, I thought, no, that's just stupid. I don't do that. Rega with gold fittings, I can't imagine that. Anyway, I'm going to stop it there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a like. Thanks for all the emails, lovely comments. Thanks for that. I'll see you in a future video. Thank you very much.